Smart technology is everywhere, from smart watches to smart rings. Millions of people use them to do a variety of things like tracking sleep or your calories burned at a fitness class. And our next guest, Nikki Gooding, is one of them. She religiously wears her Oura smart ring. It's one of many brands on the market, and she says that it flagged concerning data that led her to see her doctor, who then diagnosed her with lymphoma. Now she's going viral after posting this clip.
I had major signs almost every single day. My readiness score was always like 30s, 40s, no bueno.
So Gooding said her ring was alerting her to, quote, major signs of health issues that she'd noticed: fatigue, night sweats, elevated resting heart rate, and more. She's crediting the ring with getting her to visit her doctor, leading to her cancer diagnosis. Nikki, your story immediately jumped out at us. We had to follow up with you. Thank you so much for being on with us. When you first got those alerts, what went through your mind? And did you really think it could be anything serious?
Honestly, at first, I didn't take it too seriously. I thought maybe I had picked up a viral illness or something when I was away on a trip. But as days went by and I kept getting the same notifications, it kind of clicked in my head that I needed to start taking it seriously.
Wow. And you yourself are a nurse practitioner. You still got those alerts. And at first you were like, I don't know, this may not be anything. So
yeah, I was definitely super stubborn.
Yeah, but you say that you felt some of these symptoms that the smart device confirmed to you. Do you think that you would have taken the symptoms as seriously if you didn't have the smart ring?
That's a good question. I think eventually probably yes, but it definitely made me take it more seriously having all the evidence just laid out in front of me.
So it really could have, even you yourself knowing that it could have been something serious, it may have taken you more time to take it serious had you not gotten the results on your ring.
Yes, that's correct.
So what did your doctor say about the smart ring, and what are the next steps for you?
Luckily, my primary care provider is another amazing nurse practitioner. She also was very validated in what the Oura ring was showing me. She took it seriously as well when I presented the other symptoms to her as well.
Nikki, you're really pretty stoic as we're talking about this, and obviously we were alerted to this because of your video and you posting about it on social media. So I appreciate that you're able to talk to us about it, but I want to ask about you as a human because you still just got a really serious diagnosis. So how are you wrapping your mind around this? How are you emotionally taking all of this in, especially as I'm sure you're getting so much outreach from people?
I'm very lucky that everybody's been super supportive. I have a really good support system at home. I'm doing okay. Honestly, like navigating the financial hardship of everything has been the most difficult. But I had my first chemo last week and I got a little bit sick after, but I did okay and I'm feeling good this week.
And you're feeling optimistic. What are you doing to keep your spirits up and to keep yourself being in a good mental space as you're dealing with all of this?
Definitely, it's just talking about it, keeping an open relationship with all my friends and family, just leaning on them for support.
Oh, Nikki, I really appreciate you coming on to talk to us today, for sharing your story, because it's going to help many other people who will now tune into some of these smart devices when they're getting those alerts and now take them more seriously. Thank you so much. And we are continuing to think about you as you go on this journey. Thank you again, Nikki.
Thank you.
And so for more on this, let's bring in ABC News medical correspondent and emergency room physician, Dr. Darian Sutton. Dr. Sutton, so great to have you on. You just heard Nikki. She is processing all of this, and she says that it was her smart ring that flagged these symptoms, which is pretty remarkable. Is this legitimate? Have you ever seen this before?
Well, I have. As a physician, as a friend, you know me. I've been taking, I field calls all the time with medical questions. I just want to say Nikki is a champion. Sharing a story such as this saves lives. And when the question is asked, does wearable technology diagnose cancer? The short answer is no. Okay. There is no approved wearable device, whether it be a ring or a watch, that can diagnose cancer. But Janae, the reality is that this technology has gotten more and more advanced every single year, detecting our heart rate, our blood pressure, our heart rhythm, detecting our sleep patterns, even diagnosing and detecting sleep apnea. So that helps to empower the individual to go to their primary care provider with data in hand, which can be so powerful.
And when it comes to advocating for yourself and when you're talking with doctors, I can imagine that it would feel so much more helpful to people when they have data and stats that they can point to. But as Nikki said, when she first got the alert, she didn't necessarily take it seriously. What should people do if they do start getting these alerts?
Well, she did the right thing. So when you get that alert, the first thing you need to do is don't panic. When I'm talking to patients in the emergency room, it's all about the self-assessment. Do you have changes in the feeling? How are you feeling overall? Yeah. Is there shortness of breath? Difficulty breathing? Are you having night sweats? Have you been feeling overall unwell for the past couple of days? These are reasons why you should talk to a provider either urgently or emergently. But if you have no symptoms at all, take note of that information and then bring that up with your primary care provider. Again, data in hand, so powerful.
That is so great. Now, of course, not all smart devices fit into everyone's budget because they can be really expensive. So what are some other ways that folks can be mindful in tracking their health without a smart device?
Yeah, everyone has to be aware of their risks. So talking to your family about your family history, and there's some incredible helpful recommendations from the American Cancer Society, thinking about what are the red flag signs if your concern is cancer. That can include, but isn't limited to, unintentional weight loss, night sweats, changes in vision, swollen lymph nodes that can either be in your neck or your groin or other places on your body. Overall, again, all of these symptoms combined with how you're feeling are really important to hone in on the signs and symptoms of the possibility of cancer. But Janae, the most important part is that when we talk about the rising rate of cancer of young adults, less than 50% are seeing a primary care provider. The majority of the diagnosis happens in the primary care office, so make that appointment.
What is it that is keeping people in our age range, younger people, from going and seeing primary physicians?
Number one, access. You know, it's becoming more and more difficult.
Which Nikki just talked about, the financial hardships.
It's financially hard. The access is difficult. You have to plan ahead. You have to check with your provider to understand what resources are available to you. Often people just don't know about the resources because it is incredibly confusing. So being aware of the resources that are available to you in your primary care coverage or your health insurance, making that appointment early, and then being proactive about screenings. They should start at least at the age of 40 and sometimes earlier if your family history is high risk.
Okay, those are really important reminders, even earlier if your family is at risk. Dr. Darian Sutton, we appreciate you so much.